Even from the first few pages, I can tell that BJ and Magnolia are that person for each other, which I heard about, but reading about it, it's like different. Hello guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah. We're gonna do a reading vlog today because this book that I'm about to do a reading vlog for is one of the most anticipated reads of a long time. Some love it, some hate it. Magnolia Parks. This was in my last bookstore vlog. I have my bookmark already picked out. It's a quote from Taylor Swift. It says, "Meet me in the afterglow." It's a very appropriate song and phrase for BJ and Magnolia. And we also got our tabs picked out and ready. I feel like these ones matched the cover the best. I don't know. I think that I'm going to be on the side of those that love this book. I just have this feeling about it. It's a romance, I think, if it could even be considered that, but it's a toxic romance. I feel like I've matured a bit as a reader where I could appreciate this book for what it is, even though it is toxic. And I just think that I'm going to love it, and I cannot wait to get into it. So that is what we're gonna do right now. I don't know how this is possible or if this is even allowed, but I'm already going to underline the dedication. So. What color tab should we start with? I think we're gonna go with this one because I feel like it matches the spine of the book quite well. Okay, this first paragraph, I'm gonna insert a picture of it here. I don't know if I'm the only one that thought this, but it's giving the Click series. You know how in the Click, which again, when I was in like middle school, I loved that series. They would always describe exactly what they were wearing, what it was from, and all that stuff. That is what just happened here, and it's just giving me some nostalgia, and I love that. Even from the first few pages, I can tell that BJ and Magnolia are like that person for each other, which I heard about, but reading about it, it's like different because Jessa does a really good job of describing abstract concepts. I'm already feeling in the first chapter, and I really like her writing. I think I'm really gonna like this one. Only on page 33, and I've already given up doing my little tabs, and I'm just underlining now because there's just too much that I'm underlining, and I just cannot tab it all. But that's a good thing. Hello everyone, it is the next day. Hello. It is a bit early in the morning. It actually looks beautiful outside right now. It's like that golden hour dawn time, and I'm about to go to work, but I have to talk about Magnolia Parks first. I made it up to page 109 last night. Sorry if my voice sounds weird, I might be getting sick, but I did in fact end up tabbing. I can safely say that I am pretty sure I am going to be one of those 5-star raters of this book already, only 109 pages in. It's so addicting. Like, I am addicted to reading this book, to reading about these characters and all the quotes. A toxic, bad influence, but a hopeless romantic, almost romance book, but also just drama. Like, this is not a blueprint as to how you should act in a relationship. It is not. But just some of the quotes in here, Jessa Hastings' writing is amazing. She does such a good job, and I feel like explaining internal abstract thoughts. Let me just read you some of these tabs that I did last night. Okay, this is like an entire page pretty much that I underlined. I realized we could still talk to each other without using words, and somehow in the bloodshed of it all, I found my friend. Too much of my life, maybe even too much of who I am entirely, can be traced back to him or us. Everything wonderful, everything magical, everything painful, everything beautiful and spectacular and wretched and defining that has happened to me happened with him. And I hate him for that. For so many years, his pain was my pain, but that pain, the one he was crying about then, was mine. He was crying my tears, feeling what he had done to me, broken by his own actions. Oh my god. His voice, I remember it sounding like Christmas morning and my birthday and Valentine's Day and home, and I loved him. Okay, and there was this one that I literally read to my boyfriend. I was like, dude, listen to this. This is like an entire page again that I pretty much underlined, so I'm gonna skip around. How many loves do you get in a lifetime? How many people will look at me like he does? Not just like on the sun, but like on the whole universe. And then I remember, like a physical punch in the gut, how much I loved him. Really loved him. To the bone loved him. Cut me and I'd bleed him. How much I needed him. Still needed him. Would forever, always, never, couldn't, even if I tried. Needed him. My allergies are active again, so this is a good time to wrap it up on that quote. But yes, I am at page 109. It is a dual point of view. Right now it's just a lot of drama. We're sort of getting the backstory of BJ and Magnolia and their whole friend group, the found family aspect of it. Slowly, we're getting glimpses of what had happened between BJ and Magnolia and their whole like epic, terrible, toxic backstory, love story. And we just met the person Daisy hates, who is the main character of 2 other books in the series. And she's not really a main character in this, so I'm interested to see how they're gonna like incorporate her to be a main character so that she gets her whole entire other 2 books in the Magnolia Parks universe. So you have 4 books and they all, the Daisy Hates and Magnolia book 1 and 2 happen at the same time. I'm gonna go read some more before I go to work. I'm gonna read a bunch when I come back and I'll update you a little bit later. I can't wait to get back into this, and my heater just turned on, so I'm gonna shut up and read. No food for kittens. Luca came to join. Can you see him? Hey, no. BJ hun. Literally every time one of them decides to be mature and be like, okay, I love you, I love cuddling, I love doing all of it, the other one up. And it's so frustrating, but it's so good. Hello everyone. Remember how I said that I was feeling ill yesterday? Well, I am officially sick because I think I have a sinus infection and my boyfriend has been sick with like the flu or something for the past week, so I don't know if you could hear him coughing. I feel gross today. But what better time than to read a book when you feel sick? We are doing a mid-book check-in with Magnolia Parks. I am on page 229 and I think that there are 500 pages in total of this book. This is my little sick outfit. Yeah, so I think we're like pretty much halfway through. The new character was introduced. If you read this book, you know what I mean. Mr. England was introduced, and okay, if you haven't read up to this point, then skip to like this timestamp because I don't want to spoil it. Magnolia did just find out that Marsali, I don't know how to say her name, her nanny, who's basically like raised her, and her dad are sleeping together, which like blew up her world. Tom was there when her dad like shoved him and then like hurt Magnolia's hand, and then he brought her right to BJ. And BJ knew exactly what to do, and it's just, I could see the love triangle. It's like the Edward Cullen Bella Swan, Jacob Black standoff. Like, that's the vibe I'm picturing for when she takes him to BJ after this event has occurred. So yeah, and now they're about to go on vacation, go away, found family, friends, and I think it's gonna be good. But I really like Tom. Tom has some issues too though, because he's in love with his dead brother's ex or widowed wife. And Magnolia is still in love with the guy who cheated on her and is toxic for her. So they're like just a mess of a fake couple. And she's also like having a little crisis because the whole reason she stopped seeing BJ after he cheated on her is because Marsali, the nanny, told her once a cheater, always a cheater, basically, you can't forgive him, all that stuff. And then she's like, and you told me all that, and now what do you do with my dad? Like, he's like a hypocrite now. So I love this book, this mid-book check-in. I'm already on my second row of tabs because I finished up this one, and these are the other colors I'm going to use for the rest of the book. I really, really like this book. I could just tell with this book that the minute things start seeming like they're gonna get healthy, something happens and they're just not. It's so tricky because I want to like Tom. He's just as bad as Magnolia and BJ because of Clara. Ember's moving. It's so irritating, but I'm in love with the way this book is making me emotional. Oh, my camera's moving on its own. It's sliding. Okay. They are here. This book is 5 stars. I finished it late last night, and the ending, the feeling it gave me, rivaled some thrillers that I've read. There's this big reveal without giving away too much, and I was completely not expecting it. My jaw dropped. So yes, this book is definitely 5 stars for me. Also, look at all of these tabs that I've done. I completely used up 3 colors, and I had to go into the 4th color by the end. But I'm so glad I did, because some of these quotes, like, I am going to look back on and I'm going to read. Quantity of quality quotes? That's a tongue twister. I haven't read another book that beats this book, because look at all those. They're all quality quotes. I could totally see why people compare this to Gossip Girl. I wouldn't be surprised if Jessa Hastings said that it was a little bit influenced by Gossip Girl, and like it probably was by that whole high society stuff and the Fountain family and all that stuff. I'm actually rewatching Gossip Girl now. I started last night because of this book. I also wrote down that I really liked how everyone that was obsessed with her was obsessed with her for like a reason. It's not just like a Twilight thing where all these people think, no offense, Bella is like gorgeous and beautiful, and she's just described as very bland and plain and normal looking in the books. And I understand how, like, you know, typical beauty is still beauty, and like I completely get that. But in the amount of time that they say she's just like a basic looking girl, it's like a little bit much. But people actually liked Magnolia, and she's described as beautiful and gorgeous, and she has all these different aspects of her, but it wasn't overwhelming because she's also a flawed main character. And I really liked how they added in her little sister going to psychology school, because throughout the book when Magnolia and BJ would do these like questionable psychological things, her sister would try to explain to her why she's doing that or BJ is doing that, and psychoanalysis of them was really interesting to read for me because it helped me understand it better too, and I have a lot more appreciation for the characters and their struggle with that. So this book was so frustrating, but it was so good, and I cannot wait to read the next series. I think Daisy Hates, I actually have it right here. So this would be the next book to read in the series. It's not a Magnolia book, but it's a Daisy Hates book, and then you have another Magnolia book. But all these covers are beautiful, and I panicked and bought them all. I still have to buy the one last Daisy Hates one, but I panicked and bought them all because I read somewhere that once it gets published, they're gonna change covers, and I'm like, no, I really want these covers. This book was 500 pages. The Daisy book looks a little bit smaller. It's 423 pages. And then the next Magnolia book it's over 500 pages. Magnolia Parks. It was over 500 pages. And I feel like I was entertained throughout the entire book, which is hard to happen in 500-page books. I highly recommend this book, but don't go into it expecting a romance because it's not your typical relationship that you're looking for when you're going into romance books. It's toxic, and you're not really rooting for the couple throughout, for BJ and Magnolia throughout the book, but you still are, and it's so confusing, but it's come together so well. I highly recommend it. If you go into it looking to be entertained and get a bunch of good quotes, but it's just not your typical epic romance and you're not rooting for this couple by the end of the book. The last chapter had me so shocked, and it was so good. And yes, that concludes this reading vlog of Magnolia Parks. I'm so happy we did this, and I cannot wait to get into the next two books, or the fourth book that is all for me today. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye.